Good morning everyone. Here I am to discuss about the course title Fundamentals of Horticulture, and the course number is HOT 181. So in the HOT 181 course, the first lecture deals about the basics of horticulture. What is horticulture? The divisions of horticulture, the role of horticulture in human nutrition, and status of horticulture in the national economy. So first, I would like to tell you about the definition of horticulture. Firstly, horticulture is derived from two Latin words. Hortus means garden and cultura means cultivation. On a brief, it is the cultivation of garden crops. Apart from the agriculture crops, horticulture crops are flower crops, fruit crops, medicinal and aromatic, spices, condiments, plantation crops. All the other crops which are excluded from the agriculture crops are included as horticulture crops. So we also have one more word called modern horticulture. This modern horticulture deals with the utilization, improvement, and also the utilization of horticulture crops for the better usage of the for mankind. Okay, so coming to the divisions of horticulture. So for better understanding and for better knowing of this horticulture has divided into different subgroups, and now we will know what are the different divisions of horticulture. So the first division in the horticulture group is pomology. So pomology is, in short, it is the study of fruits. It is derived from again two Latin words. Pomum means fruits and logos means discourse or study. A fruit is nothing but a developed or a matured ovary along with its accessory parts sometimes, or else which is eaten raw and which is generally consumed without cooking. Okay, so the study of fruits is included as pomology. Next is the study of vegetables. Olericulture, it is a second division of horticulture. So olericulture means the study of vegetables. It is derived from again two words. Oleris means pot herb and cultura means discourse or study. So vegetable is any herbaceous part of the plant which is usually taken after cooking, and it is the principal part of a meal. So when you are going for study of these vegetables, it is named as olericulture. Next is floriculture. Floriculture is again derived from two words. Florus means flower and cultura means cultivation. So the overall cultivation of study of cultivation of flowers, you call it as floriculture. So here again this floriculture is divided into two subgroups. First one is commercial floriculture, which deals with the commercial production of flowers for a profit. Examples are gerbera cultivation, orchids cultivation, carnation cultivation. All these comes under commercial floriculture. Next is ornamental floriculture. This is the study of growing plants for pleasure. Okay, for pleasure, joy, and it is just a small garden which is grown at our homes, comes under ornamental floriculture. Next division is about arboriculture. This division exclusively deals with the cultivation of crops which are used for shade purpose, avenue purpose, and all the perennial trees which sometimes for ornamental purpose also. So this is arboriculture. Next division is about plantation crops. Plantation crops are nothing but these are crops which are exclusively used only after processing, and they are usually grown in vast areas or in estates. We call it as estates. Usually those estates are owned by a single person or a company, and its produce is only utilized after processing. Examples can be cocoa, rubber, coffee, your tea estates. All these comes under plantation crops. Next is about spices and condiments. So these spices and condiments are used as food adjuncts which add taste and aroma flavor to our food. They increase the palatability of our food, but they have very little nutrient value. So I'll just brief out what is the spices. These spices exclusively add aroma and flavor to the food, whereas condiments, they add taste to the food. So study of these spices and condiments is also included as a division of horticulture. Next division is about the study of medicinal plants. Medicinal plants are nothing but the plants which have secondary metabolites, and these secondary metabolites are exclusively having the potentiality as drugs. So that means when they are used for an ailment, those ailments will be cured. So these secondary metabolites, they are undergone food processing and they are used for drugs. So this study of these medicinal plants is also a division of horticulture. So the secondary metabolites can be your coumarins, flavonoids, steroids. So all these comes under medicinal crops. Next is about aromatic plants. Aromatic plants are nothing but the plants which contain essential oils in them, and those essential oils are extremely steam volatile, and when you extract these essential oils, these oils can be aromatic and used in many cosmetics and confectionaries. So these study of aromatic crops is also a division under horticulture. Next division is an interesting division called food technology. Food technology is also a division under horticulture where the processing and preservation of all the horticulture crops can be studied under this food technology. Next group or next division is about landscape gardening. This landscape gardening division deals with the study and execution, planning, execution and implementation of gardens. So it is nothing but simply the study of gardens, you call it as. This is the division under landscaping garden. Next division is about nursery and seed bed production. So nursery is nothing but a place where your seeds are grown into seedlings or your primary area of germination of seeds. So study of the this commercial nurseries and commercial seed production is also a division under horticulture. So with this we complete the divisions of horticulture. Morning. Here I am to discuss about the role of horticulture crops in human nutrition. So fruits and vegetables are an incredible part of a human diet, especially during this pandemic situation. All are talking about our increase in immunity levels of our body. So these fruits and vegetables means our horticulture crops play an important role in boosting up your human immunity. So immunity levels can be increased with inclusion of more fruits and vegetables in our diet. So these fruits and vegetables contains minerals, vitamins and salts which are essential for our regular growth. So vitamins are the important constituents of fruits and vegetables, and these vitamins even when taken in regularly has to be consumed regularly, and even when you are consuming in less quantities, they have great impact on our health. So we'll just discuss what are the roles of different vitamins in our human nutrition. So and these vitamins when not taken for a considerable period of time, they can cause some disorders and health ailments in our body. So we will just discuss what are the vitamins present in our fruits and vegetables and what is the role of the vitamins played in our human nutrition. First is the most important vitamin we are going to talk about is vitamin A. So this vitamin A is exclusively used or exclusively useful for the normal growth, reproduction and improving the health and vigor of the human body. This vitamin A, when not consumed properly or when not taken in required quantities, may cause night blindness and xerophthalmia. This xerophthalmia is the inability of seeing a particular object clearly. So this xerophthalmia can be overcome when you take or when you intake there is a regular intake of vitamin A. This vitamin A is rich in all the green leafy vegetables and especially carrots and beetroots. So all the vegetables which are rich in vitamin A should be consumed regularly. Next we will move on to the other vitamin, that is vitamin B1 or thiamine. This vitamin B1 is used in toning our nervous system and proper functioning of our digestive tract. This vitamin B1 is rich in all the fruits and vegetables. So, when you are regularly consuming this vitamin B1, you can improve the functioning of your nervous system. Next vitamin is vitamin B2 or riboflavin. This riboflavin is used for body growth and for the healthy skin growth. Okay, so this vitamin B2 when not consumed properly will have scales on your skin and your body growth will be retarded. Next important vitamin is vitamin C. So all are talking about vitamin C nowadays. So this vitamin C is improving your immune system and it promotes the general health and healthy gums of your teeth. So when not taken in sufficient quantities, it may cause scurvy disease. Scurvy disease is nothing but breaking of your lips and it is a symptom of vitamin C reduction in your body. So you have to consume more rich vitamin C foods. Vitamin C foods include amla fruits, oranges, mandarins, all the fruits example, and vegetables also. They're almost all the vegetables, green leafy vegetables and cucumbers contain rich vitamin C. And next vitamin is about sunshine vitamin or D vitamin. So this D vitamin is essential for building up of our bones and when not taken in sufficient quantities, they may cause rickets. Rickets is deforming bone growth and these bones, even when developed, they will not develop properly and they may cause easy breakage or deforming growth of the bones will happen if not taken in proper quantities. All the green leafy vegetables are rich in vitamin D and this vitamin D our body can also synthesize this vitamin D when you are standing in open sunlight for 1 to 2 hours. Next, vitamin E is about vitamin E. Vitamin E is especially used for generative functions. It helps in improving the generative functions and also promotes the fertility of human body. This vitamin E is rich in peas, beans, dolichos beans, green leafy vegetables and almost all the fruits doesn't contain this vitamin E. Vitamin K. Vitamin K prevents us from blood clotting. So vitamin K is rich in all the fruits and vegetables. So to improve our human health, to improve the condition of our body, these vitamins are to be consumed regularly. That means you have to include fruits and vegetables as a major part of your diet along with the cereal crops. Next important constituents of our fruits and vegetables are minerals. So these minerals include calcium. The calcium is important for the bone development, regulation of the heartbeat and also controlling your blood clots. The calcium rich foods are milk, you can have dairy products and also the dates, all the dried fruits are rich in calcium content. Next mineral is about iron. Iron is important for the production of hemoglobin. Iron rich foods include jackfruit, dates, fig. Okay, so all these can improve your hemoglobin content of your blood. Next mineral is about phosphorus. This phosphorus helps in maintaining the moisture content of the tissues, and it also helps in the development of bones. Next is proteins. Proteins are bodybuilding foods. These proteins include our uh, complete health of our body. They will maintain the complete vigor of our body, and when taken regularly, it will improve your skin health and also general health of the body. So, these proteins are termed as bodybuilding foods. Next, our horticulture crops also have numerous enzymes which can improve the digestion and also improve the quality of our body. Next is about fibers and roughages. So these fibers and roughages are rich sources in our fruits and vegetables. Fibers are exclusively used for improving the digestion of our body, and also the roughages prevent us from constipation. So our horticulture crops exclusively are fruits and vegetables are rich in those fibers and roughages. Next, we will discuss about the scope of horticulture in a national economy. So here you can see a drastic increase in the horticulture crop production from 2002 to 2014. Now recently we have crossed a milestone of 130 million tons of horticulture crops production. So by this we can understand that there is a huge scope in a horticulture industry, that is you can increase the production of fruit crops, vegetable crops, ornamental crops, and you can improve our national economy drastically. Horticulture crops is accounting for 8% of our national GDP, and you can increase this GDP by more production of horticulture crops. You can have this horticulture crops provides the national econ. It will also provide economy besides providing good amounts of labor. Labor can also your horticulture crops can account for culture intensive crops will be accommodating around 10,000 to 15,000 man days when compared to 800 or 200 man days of cereal crops. So, this horticulture crops can be increased for further increased for natural GDP increase and also for good economic resources of the country. Thank you.